What's up, everybody? It's me, Aretha Franklin, and today I'm going to be talking about Burning Man. But before you click out, I want to make it super duper fantastically transparently clear that this is not a hype video. This is not going to be slow motion influencers smiling at sunset dressed in beautiful costumes with ever so small daisies covering their nipples. That's not what this is. This is a very honest, pragmatic, down to earth and grounded assessment of what I feel like Burning Man offers us as a community, as a culture, and a society moving forward. It's very long-winded and I said that really fast. Holy shit, let's get into it. So Burning Man, for those who don't know, is essentially an event where 70,000 people get dumped into the desert where it's hot as fuck, it's dusty, there's no plumbing, there's no electricity. Am I selling it yet? They get placed into this fucking barren ass desert for 10 days. And it's the best fucking time ever. Why? Like, of course you can go to another festival and you can just party and do drugs. Like, you can do that anywhere, bro. You can do that shit in my basement. But for me, what I found personally so interesting and fascinating about this experiment was just that, is that it's a social experiment. It was a microcosm reflection of us as human beings. We could say, all right, if we get thrust into this environment where, you know, could be competition for resources and it's hot and people are agitated, are people just gonna stab each other? Are people just gonna take advantage of each other? Is everybody just gonna hate each other? If you leave a kid alone by himself, what he does is gonna tell you a lot about who he is. To me, that's a beautiful opportunity for us to see who the fuck we are. Now I get it. Before we get too far ahead, I understand that Burning Man is a very specific container for this experiment to happen. Because at the end of the day, our creation of culture is what defines how we respond in the society we're living, right? So if we live in a society, if we live in a culture that's constantly telling us people are bad and, you know, everybody's out to get you and people are constantly robbing each other, then of course that's how people are going to respond, because that's the emotional and societal climate in which they exist. But if we're in a culture that tells us like, yo, you will be taken care of, you're good, don't worry, there's no competition for resources, everybody will have enough, and let's love each other while we doing this shit, all of a sudden human beings just follow culture. And that to me is fucking fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about the principles that I said really make this culture what it was. First and foremost is self-expression. I'm talking about like, what would it look like if 70,000 people truly had no judgment and no expectations other than, yo, whoever the fuck you are, it's perfect, go be it. And oftentimes we ignore this, but we live in a society in which we are constantly being told what, how, where, when, all these things that we're supposed to do, right? And yes, we value self-expression. As a society, we say America's all about self-expression. At the end of the day, it's really not, because that self-expression in this larger container comes with expectations of like, express yourself, but don't do it in this way. Don't do it in a way that's gonna be weird or reveal too much about yourself. So to be in a situation in which 70,000 people are like, yo, there is nothing telling you what you can and cannot do, go be you. All of a sudden you're like, wow, holy shit. First of all, there are other people like me. And what's also kind of fascinating is there's also nobody like me, right? Like, damn, I would never wear baloney on my nipples, but go ahead, girl, do what the fuck you gotta do. That's fantastic and it looks great on you. But for me, I was wearing booty shorts for the first time in my life and I was like, yo, my legs look fantastic. Like, fantastic. You actually walk away being like, yo, I actually maybe have been holding myself back in my self-expression, and as a result, maybe have forgotten a little bit about who I am as a person. That to me is worth, give me the ticket price for like $50,000, because that by itself is, if you're walking away with more of yourself, bro, you can't put a price tag on that. So boom, that's my first reason why everybody should go to Burning Man, is because number one, self-expression leads to self-awareness. Cool. Number two, what is the next thing I'm going to talk about? The next thing I'm going to talk about is immediacy. So immediacy in the concept of presence. So Burning Man is a cornucopia, a kaleidoscope of stimuli. There's constantly things happening. There's workshops on everything from pussy stroking to fucking biogenetic hacking. Like, there's constantly a myriad of things to do, right? And when you approach life with this concept of immediacy, as in like, yo, I'm going to do, say, think, and be exactly as I want in every single given moment, all of a sudden, again, you get, boom, self-awareness, because you're like, oh, I don't have to wake up every day with a massive plan, a schedule, anxiety. There are no commitments. There are no, well, before I get to be myself or do what I want to do, I got to knock out this obligation, this chore, this thing. That's no longer a situation. And in a culture of immediacy, to me, you get so much satisfaction out of the present moment. And that to me is why those days at Burning Man really felt like years. I was from moment to moment to moment living in different aspects of myself. And because there's so many different aspects of myself, it's like, holy shit, I'm getting chock full of value in every single moment. Tuning into my intuition and my instinct and honoring that gives you so much joy and makes life just like so fucking juicy. It's crazy the amount of value you get out of literally, truly living in a culture of the present moment and being immediate with who you are. The third thing I want to talk about is a kind of like a broader scale thing that we can maybe apply in this society right now. So that is called the gifting economy. At Burning Man, there is no money. At Burning Man, there's no bartering, there's no trading. It's I have something and I give it to you. Never mind the value of it. I'm giving it to you because I truly wish to give it, right? When you have that gifting economy, all of a sudden, not only teaches you how to give, but it also teaches you how to receive, right? Because in this world, we're taught like, oh, if you receive something, you must have to trade, you must have to offer value. Basically, your worth in receiving something is dependent on how much you can give. And what if that wasn't necessarily the case? What if we erased that logic and just said like, yo, by the fact that you're a human being and you're breathing and you're living, you deserve this. So here. And I know people may be watching this and saying like, okay, Mari, that's great as like a microcosm experiment, but the gifting economy can't work on a larger scale. I get it, I understand, but actually what I realized at Burning Man is that human beings are actually much more capable of adapting quicker than we might think. You know, I personally am a self-proclaimed diva. I went out there, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be hot as fuck, I'm gonna be dusty, I'm gonna be mad as fuck, I can't find no water. Y'all got me sleeping in a van. I was gonna be mad as shit. And guess what? I was upset for maybe like 87 seconds. But as soon as I started to adjust and adapt and be like, okay, this is my life now for the next 10 days, I let go of my creature comforts. I let go of the way I thought things were supposed to be. And I just embraced the new change that was available to me and got a shit ton value. It's like, okay, cool. I got to take cold showers now. But now I can like walk around naked if I want to in front of like 80,000 people. Worth it. Like the idea of we can't apply cultures like this on a microcosm scale on a big level, to me, we limit our hope for what humanity is actually capable of. And if anything, Burning Man taught me that there's actually a shit ton of hope for humanity. When people actually radically self-express themselves, when people actually give freely of their heart, we can actually shift culture in a tangible, methodological, you know, I'll just put it right here, that word. We can do it in that way and actually implement changes on a larger scale. So for me, at the end of the day, I'm walking away with Burning Man with a shit ton more hope, shit ton more ideas, so much more self-awareness. The question of, oh, when you put all these people in the desert, are you just gonna be descended into anarchy and is it just gonna fall apart and it's just gonna be despair everywhere? Actually, the amazing, beautiful irony and the paradox is that we don't actually fall into our worst selves in those situations. We actually become our best selves. We actually become so much more independent, so much more creative, so much more giving to other people. It's actually super fascinating what Burning Man offers us as a microcosm of what we can do in the larger world when maybe we take away the big brother, when we take away the rules, the laws, and the regulations, or at least look at them in a different way. To me, that's what makes this shit so interesting as an experiment. So that's why I wanted to make this video. I really wanted to just communicate to, especially the people who have never been or never heard of it, what Burning Man is and especially what Burning Man offers. So if you want to go, definitely go. Just don't go next year because I'm going again next year and I just don't want it to be crowded. So go in a couple years when I'm over it. Cool. Love y'all. Peace. Thanks for watching.
Aww. That ain't gonna do shit.
It's not doing shit?
It's not doing shit.
Cover your titties. Oh, look. Damn, I look like fucking Santa Claus. Jesus.